Hey YouTube, back at it again with another video. Same thing as always, just one take. Talk about something that's been on my mind and see where it goes. As you can see from the title of the video, great things in life usually come to a quiet end. And great things can be anything in your life that have happened in the past. And a lot of those things you only realize later on that they came to a quiet end. So by that, like for me, what that means is like, playing. I played a lot of sports growing up. Um, a lot of those practices and games um, came to a quiet end, and I didn't even realize it. Sleepovers with cousins, playing certain video games, watching certain sports teams, family dinners, that sort of thing. And again, I'll give the examples more specific, but just listing those off. So like certain things, like weddings, the birth of a child, whatever, you get to commemorate those moments. A birthday or something, you get to commemorate that moment. Um, and that it lives forever. You can take videos, photos, whatever. But certain things that were such a big part of your life, when you can only realize that they came to a quiet end later on, and that's just something I've been thinking about recently. So for me, just one example, I used to do a lot of sleepovers with my cousins growing up. Big part of my childhood. We used to live on the same block, so we'd literally like just walk up the street, go to your cousin's house, hang out for the day, and you do sleepovers and stuff, right? Played a lot of video games, a lot of sports outside, rode bikes and scooters and all that. And then my cousins ended up basically moving from that house to a different house. And in the moment, like when I realized that I can't even remember that last sleepover or that last day that we hung out at that house. And like it sort of kills me where I'm like, that was such a big part of my childhood, but I can't even remember that last day that we hung out. Which is, again, hard to say that, is that a bad thing? Because like, again, life doesn't work like that, especially when you're a kid. Like, you're living in the moment, right? You're not really like, you only realize like later on once you get old, like, damn, I should have cherished those moments more. But when you're a kid, you're just hanging out, you're just playing, living in the moment. But that's one thing that was on my mind, where it was like basically like we had so many good times there, but I don't even remember that last sleepover, that last hangout at that house. But same thing with practices and games. Grew up playing a whole lot of soccer. Played a bit of ball hockey and stuff with friends and cousins and stuff. Certain teams that I played for, I can remember, okay, this was our like last game that we played, and we played at this field or whatever. But for like this other team that I played in the spring and summer, I look back and I'm like, I can't remember our last game together. I can't remember our last practice together. And I played with that group of guys for years, right? And some of the people that I met have become my lifelong friends. I know them till today. We still hang out till today. But it was like I would see those guys multiple times a week at practices and games. We'd hang out so much. And then it comes to a quiet end. And it's like, now I look back, it's like, damn. Like, I don't even remember, the last practice, last game, whatever. But again, another great thing that came to a quiet end. And this is another thing, like I talk about gaming on this channel and stuff too. I think a lot of us get nostalgic looking back at video games. Played a lot of Call of Duty back in the day. Now, I want you guys to think, do you remember the last day that you partied up with your buddies on MW2? If you played that game, can you think of that last lobby that you had? Think about a full party, 6 guys, 9 guys, whatever. You're running search and destroy, domination, or whatever, ground war. Can you remember that last day that you partied up? Right? It's crazy to think about like that. There is that day. It's etched in history. You just don't remember it. There was a last day when you hopped on with your boys in that Xbox Live party, the PS3 party, whatever. Got into that lobby. It was the last day that you played, and you didn't know it, right? We've all spent a lot of time playing those games. MW2, MW3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, whatever it is. There was a day that you hopped on with the boys for the last time and you didn't know it. It just got me thinking, like, in that moment, if I had known, hey, this is the last time I'll play MW2 or whatever game it was with the boys, maybe you would have played harder. You would have played longer. You would have laughed more. You would have laughed harder. But it's like, you just didn't know. You know what I mean? And that kills me sometimes, because it's like you want to go back to that moment and like you wish that you could have commemorated that moment in a way where it's like, damn boys, like this is gonna be our last day playing together, whatever. Like let's really get after it, right? Let's have a good time, let's laugh it up, whatever. But it's like you just didn't know, and then you just hopped on to the next game, right? Hey, this new game came out, let's hop onto it. And you can, again, that goes with any game. FIFA, NHL, could have been the original Overwatch, whatever game you played, right? Halo, etc. Battlefield. I played a lot of Battlefield, going up to Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Bad Company, do that sort of thing. And it's like I don't remember that last time, which is it's sort of sad, right? Though we spent so much time there, and then we just moved on, and then now I know a lot of us are like nostalgic about those games, about that past. Like, damn, I wish we could go back and play that game, right? Like, imagine trying to hit up your buddies now and say, yo, let's hop on MW2 or COD 4, Black Ops 1, whatever. Your buddies be like, yo, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Assuming they even have the old consoles, right? I think a lot of us, even I, sold my PS3 that I had, and then like I bought one off Craigslist like earlier this year for like $50. But like, assuming that your friends even have the console, right? I feel like a lot of people just have moved on. But again, those were great games. Talked about this in one of my last videos. Like, those were great times. Sports teams, for example, like, I don't know how many of you guys watch hockey, but I watch a lot of ice hockey, like NHL. My favorite team is the Canucks, Vancouver Canucks. The best team that they had was in 2011 when they made the Cup run. They made it to the finals. Unfortunately, they lost in Game 7 to the Boston Bruins. I grew up, like, the core of that team, like, I grew up watching. Henrik, Daniel, Sedin, Kessler, Burrows, Luongo, etc. That was, like, the pinnacle for them. They never made it back to the Stanley Cup final. They never even made a deep run. The next year they came back, they lost in 5 games to the LA Kings first round. The year after that, they got swept by the San Jose Sharks in 4 games straight. And it's like, that was it for them, right? That, even though, again, there were a lot of good times in that run, it's like, you watch that team get to the pinnacle, it ends in heartbreak, and you don't get a redo. That was like the pinnacle of sports for me growing up. Like, I'm a diehard hockey fan. It's like, they made it to that final, they lost, it ends in heartbreak, and that's it. And then you just move on. And it's like, damn, really? Like, that's all. And in the moment, you didn't know. Like, I remember when they lost, I was like, this team's still good. Like, even the next year they came back, they won the President's Trophy. In the regular season, they were the number 1 team. And I'm like, yo, like, they can make another deep run here. Let's get back at it. And they lose in 5. Right? You're the best team in the regular season. You lose in 5 to the 8th seed. The 8th seed with the LA Kings, they lost, and that was it. And like, since then, they haven't even been, like, the furthest they've made it since then is that they made it to the second round, Game 7. And it's like, damn, like, that's all it was. Like, if you had like a crystal ball, and you could say, okay, this is gonna be the deepest run that I'm gonna see by this team. Like, you would have tried to enjoy it more, right? But like, obviously life doesn't work that way. But it's, again, just something to think about, right? Again, what all this means, the end result of all this, again, it's gonna sound cliche, but obviously the lesson to learn is live in the moment, right? Whatever it is, whatever you're doing, just live in the moment, because you never know when it's gonna be the last time. And thinking of that, what really just got me thinking, again, this maybe sounds cringe to some people, but it's like, I was thinking about, like, my mom's cooking, right? My mom making breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever it is. I'm like, like, I hit the gym a bit, and I have, like, meal prep, and I eat certain meals, and I'm like, one of these days, I'm going to eat my mom's cooking for the last time, and I'm not going to know it, but I'm going to eat it for the last time. And I'm like, damn, like, when was the last time, like, I'm, not the last time, but I'm like, I should eat my mom's cooking more. You know what I mean? Even though, again, I'm trying to hit the gym, I'm trying to, eat more protein, carbs, whatever, trying to gain muscle, whatnot. I'm like, when it's all said and done at the end, what's going to matter? What am I going to think? Well, am I going to say, oh, I wish I ate more protein? Or am I going to say, damn, I should have ate my mom's cooking more, right? That's what you're going to think about, obviously, right? It's like, I wish I could go back, eat a home-cooked meal, whatever, right? That's the things that matter in life. But that's just something I thought about. I don't know what's going through your guys' mind listening to this. Is there something that you think about, like, that, since I brought that up, like, whatever. But yeah, something that's been on my mind. And I feel like everybody is, like, nostalgic. And I made the video that I made just like a week and a half ago, talking about how, recently I've been feeling more nostalgic. I'm like, there are people commented on that video talking about how they, they felt the same way, they understood where I was coming from. It's like, I feel like everybody is nostalgic. I feel like some of us just have the guts to talk about it, right? I think sometimes people feel like, oh, I don't want to sound cringe or whatever, or like, I don't want to live in the past. But it's like, I feel like everybody feels this way. Yeah, something that's just been on my mind. And sometimes it kills me that you can't go back, but at the same time, it's like, I saw this quote where it's like, if you're nostalgic about the past, it proves that you, like, lived a life worth living, or you had good moments. Which I'm like, what, that is very true, right? It kills me that I can't go back, but it's like, damn, I had some good times, man. And sometimes unfortunately some people can't say that, but I can genuinely say, looking back, like I had some good times, good family, good friends, had some good times. But yeah, that's basically about it. Something that's just been on my mind. I thought I'd ramble. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Anything that you guys think of, anything pop in your mind while you were listening to this video. But yeah, just something that's been on my mind. But yeah, thanks so much for listening. Hope you guys have a good one.